Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Minecraft Experience with me, your host, Jay. Look what I got here. Can you see it? Can you tell? Can you tell what it is? It is the one, the only netherite scraps. We have been on a little nether adventure. I've got a little overlay for you here. But for the most part, we just kind of mined in little squares along chunk borders and gathered as much as we could because I'm tired of the durability diamond like pickaxe, diamond shovel, especially while I'm digging out this thing. I feel like I only dig a little bit of it, and then I have to run back and repair all my stuff. Not that I have to go far, my main hello Mr. Sheep. My main experience that I am getting is all based out of the villager trades, and most of those go pretty quickly. Now I will say I was editing the recording of this video and I am not super happy with how it turned out, so I kind of cut a lot of the footage here, but you can see me entering in one of the bastions that I managed to find here, and once we got through there we ended up finding ourselves our smithing template. So we grabbed a bunch of stuff from this chest and then just headed on back home. I've decided the best way to get home with my limited amount of rockets is to also turn it into a netherite finding spree. So I'm just going along the chunk borders here and I will see you back at home. Well, that was a fun adventure. We even managed to get 7 more ancient debris out of that. It almost makes me want to go back and get 2 more because we just need just the tiniest bit more. And the whole reason we went in there was for this smithing upgrade. So let's make a couple of these. That's going to allow us to make some netherite ingots. We know we have a couple more here as well. So we've got 6 netherite ingots. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. We can't upgrade both of our we can upgrade both pickaxes and then maybe upgrade the boots and the leggings. Might be a smart thing to do. Just put this over here, I guess. Let's make 1 more of these. Now we have 7 smithings. You know what? We might as well make an 8th just so we always have a backup sitting around. And we can go ahead. Look at that. It's going to be our first netherite tool. Oh my goodness. We'll get everything upgraded here. And just like that, we have our final pickaxe upgraded. So we're missing just our diamond helmet. We're obviously missing some of our backup things like our sword and our diamond chestplate and things like that, but I'm not too concerned with those. Those will come as needed. Now, one thing that I've been toying with the idea of is these 2 little mountain ranges out in the distance. I'm thinking this could be like a cool spot for us to put like a aesthetic mob farm, kind of located in between the 2 of these. I'm thinking of like maybe hanging some type of large structure or potentially having it be like chains or something cool. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking in this area is where we're going to want to be putting that type of thing. So let's fly over there really quick. And looking at it, it's like kind of by this like large oceany biome sort of thing, but it's also kind of, overland a little bit. So I think if we go ahead and kind of get rid of some of these blocks, I think what we might be able to do is like put something like right here. This is going to be kind of a long-term project, but I think if we do it right, it could look pretty cool. Now, if you've ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, you might recognize like kind of the peaks here. They kind of look like, the peaks that you see in the Southern Air Temple. So that's kind of what I think I'm going to go with here. I think in the center, which if I did my math right, I am equilateral kind of in between this peak and this peak. I think if I go ahead and kind of build my mob farm right here, and then I can build around it and kind of have these peaks be next to it. I think it might end up looking pretty cool. I haven't done really any planning for this, so this could be kind of like a long process, but we're going to need the gunpowder. We're going to need the other items that come from it. And I really like this area over here. And as you can see, we're not too far away from the rest of our land. So who knows? Maybe this will turn into like a little industrial zone kind of by this large bay over here or something like that. We'll kind of see what happens. So let me go gather some materials and we will start building out our mob farm. I found this incredible artist that made kind of the southern air temple in Blender in super high detail, and I'm gonna throw a link to their webpage here, but I believe their name is Surya Murugashan. You're gonna have to forgive my pronunciation there, but yeah, I'll throw a couple images up on the screen, but they did some incredible work, and I think it's going to really help me kind of visualize the detail of kind of what I'm going to be doing out in that distance over there. I think it'll end up being really cool. But this is kind of our build palette we're going to be going with. Obviously, the air temple is mostly would just be like these 2 blocks here based on what it really looks like. Maybe a little bit of these kind of built into there. But I kind of want it to like start up like it's, you know, a little more ancient, and it's going to start up in some of these like darker blocks here. So I've got, you know, basically 9 stacks of each different individual color here. And I don't know if that's going to be enough. I'm going to kind of mess around with it and see how many blocks I can get out of it and just kind of go from there. So let's start another quick little time lapse of us kind of building up this base and kind of just see where it takes us. Now, before we zip back on over to our new little temple column, everybody knows that you need a little appa to ride on. So there it is. Stay hydrated. Let's give this little guy about 20 minutes and we will have our very own little sky bison. So let's go grab some snow real quick so we can grow this guy up once he's ready. And I gotta say, it's nice to be able to just spam rockets now and not even care. The farm only functions at night right now because it's not covered up, but it's getting there. And I was just about to say, let's hope that this guy has grown up now, and it looks like he has. And I believe if we feed him snowballs, it should help him grow up. Oh, he's running away. Come back, little buddy. Oh, apparently you can't throw it at him. I thought that was supposed to help bring him closer. Okay, we'll keep feeding him snowballs. we can get this feller to grow up just a little bit quicker. Come on, buddy. Whoa, there we go. Now that is a sky bison if I've ever seen one. So let's put a purple harness on him to kind of stick with the colors that we have here. Come here, buddy. All right. So now if we head over this way, oh boy, this is gonna be a slow journey. Now I think you're getting a little understanding of the scale that we're gonna be working with here. I think it looks really good from this perspective, but right now, obviously, we need to get up a little bit higher. I want this to extend way to the clouds. Right now, it's just kind of at the peak. You can kind of see it right there. But I think if we go higher and higher and higher, it will look better and better. Obviously, we're going to have to do a lot of work around it. I'm not going like straight up, like trying to rebuild the temple here. I'm going an inspired build. Which I think looks really good already. It's going to be a long-term sort of thing that we're going to be working over here. But if we fly just a little closer... Where is he? There is our Appa. So if we fly over to him real quick... You might notice he sounds a little bit like Appa. I did download one that, a little resource pack that makes them sound like Appa. Maybe I will work on getting him to actually look like him, but I kind of like the nod as opposed to like going for a full avatar build. You know, like the Happy Gas are the sky bisons of this world, and this will be their temple. I'm not sure why I'm not looking at you, but this will be their temple. We're working on it right now, so it's a work in progress. But what we also did, if we come down here, we put, oh, I must have Fulbright on. You can see we kind of threw some tinted glass over here just so this farm can function at all hours. And if we fly down here, you'll notice we've got a couple ones getting damaged out right now. They're not going to fully spawn right now because we are located right above the farm, and I don't think mobs can spawn within 24 blocks of you. But if I come down here, you might notice we're starting to fill up on some goodies here. We must have killed a chicken at some point, funny enough. And we've already taken out a fair amount of gunpowder to get some rockets crafted. Hello? Excuse me. Very noisy up there. But, yeah, you can see we've already got some materials coming in. And we are all set up here. So I've got basically a ton of resource grinding to do. Everything that you see here, in terms of like concrete and some of the other materials, I kind of used them all. So I do need to do a lot more with getting some white dye, with some white concrete. We're going to need some more wool because the wool is the heavy object at the top. And right now, we only have our kind of hidden over in plain sight sheep farm over here. So I think the thing that may make sense next would be to do something similar to this, but over in our main area. I think if we pick a plot over here somewhere to make ourselves like a little homestead, and put a sheep farm underground, we can just start collecting a little bit more white sheep. So, you know, it's kind of like with our textile company that we've got going right here. I think it might make sense to put another business here. You know, we can have like a couple businesses just kind of line this kind of waterfront lakeside area here. And I think that might end up looking good. I'm not sure what the theme of this is going to be, but we'll start putting down a few blocks and seeing what comes to mind here. So I'm digging a hole here, getting ready to, you know, pour the foundation of our new building kind of adjacent to Cactus Ridge. And I was thinking, like, yeah, we'll put like a really basic sheep farm down here. And we needed to have enough to kind of fit in the build that we kind of did over there, just so we can have some additional white dye. But then I was thinking, like, I like how much movement we get out of these guys walking back and forth and kind of taking care of this area. And I was thinking to myself, we want to keep that movement alive. So while I have the foundation here, I had a better idea for how we could get some movement in here. And after going to several locations, I hope this is the one that actually has what we need in it. We are looking for some allays. I don't see any in this one. Oh, excuse me, sir. Do you have a moment to talk about our car's extended warranty? No. Okay. There we go. Okay, we finally found some. I swear I've been to like 9 of these things. So let me just sleep real quick, and we will get these guys brought home. Come with me, little guys. Come on, buddy. And now we have a very slow journey where hopefully we will not die. Okay, I have no idea if this works. But if it does, I'll feel pretty smart. So we've got 2 allayed boats. And home is south. I think I can fly and rocket with the boats, correct? Is this how it works? Let's find out. I think you start your flying. Oh, and then you cannot rocket. Okay. Okay, we're gonna give them a job to do, and hopefully they follow us. I know we're not gonna be able to fly. Come on, guys. I know we're not gonna be able to fly, but hopefully, if we do it this way, we'll be able to run home, and it's only 2,500. Well, it's like 2,000 blocks. It could be worse. We're getting a bit closer. So I've got a little bit of an idea of kind of what I want here. And what I'm picturing is we're going to utilize this basement space, maybe just for some storage or something like that, but it's going to be there. And I kind of want a little like L-shaped building. We're going to have like a little stables out front right here, just the tiniest little thing so you can see some sheep. And then kind of in the back end, that's kind of where the sheep are going to mainly function from. And we're going to use the building to hide most of kind of the quote unquote redstone that's going to be in this build. So I think we're going to have some functional items below, but we're also going to have some aesthetic workable items above. And I think it will work out. So let's put down a few foundations of our build, get our footprint in. So that's going to give us our basis here, give us kind of an idea of what the footprint will look like. You'll walk in, and then you'll have a couple sheep that are going to be located over here. A nice small little build. And I put the kind of foundation as cobblestone, but we're going to want to do like the world's tiniest little gradient. I don't even know if we're going to use the bone blocks because they might be a little bit too yellow for this build. But I kind of want to, make it look like, certain aspects of the build are like a little bit overgrown here. I'm thinking we put some stripped oak to kind of like outline our build here. And maybe kind of do like a little tower sort of thing here. I don't know. This could turn into something. So I think that's something in terms of an entrance. And then maybe we just kind of have some of these located around here. Just something real basic like that. It's a lot going on for like a small area. It kind of looks a little bit messy. Maybe some spruce planks there. Maybe this whole thing needs to be a little bit taller. I think we might be on to a little bit something here. We've got a little trapdoor action, kind of. I like to pretend that it could swing all the way down and it's pivoted all the way up. We got a little crossbeam support action coming in here. I decided to grab a little bit of calcite, a little bit of, what is this, nether quartz or just quartz, and then we've kind of got the diorite in here. I've added just one of these. I don't think it looks out of place. I think it just kind of looks a little extra dirty, but this is kind of a look that I'm going for here. And I think if we kind of continue this tower up and we do like a sloped roof, kind of going backwards, I think it'll look good. Yeah, okay, I think that's pretty nice. Maybe I switch these two or something, but for now you're kind of getting the idea. And then if we come up here, we actually want to get rid of these, I say. I'm probably overthinking it a little bit, but I think it's okay to overthink. I think this one's the one that screwed me up. If I do these two, I do think I like that just a little bit more. And then we extend this up just a little bit here. Yeah, see, I think that looks so much better. Maybe we put a line of these here instead. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. That's going to kind of give us that polished look up there, I think. And then we'll enunciate it with some fence posts. I think that kind of draws your eyes to the right. Maybe we want to switch these, actually. So I think that does kind of help draw the eye leftwards when you're coming this way. And when you're coming from this way, it feels like it's sloping down in a way right to left. Or sorry, left to right. So I do think that does help. I like the idea of having like a little notch out up there. Kind of like a little something's going on. Maybe if we cover these. Ooh, I think that's nice. It looks a little dark behind, and I think that kind of adds to the look that we're going for. Okay, I think that's kind of a good roof start there, and I'm liking this darkness that we have in here. Maybe eventually we'll hide a little bit of white in there, but not for now. And then what I'm going to want to do is have the sheep kind of like hidden in here. Put a couple barrels in just like this. I would love to hang these signs maybe in front. Can you hang them off that? No. How about if I go like this? Still no. Can you hang them off of a wall? No. Oh, that's nice. That is really nice. Yep, okay. And then maybe we just put a standard spruce sign in front. Try that out. Okay, yeah, no, I think I like that a lot more. Way from the side we have this profile that kind of matches, but the front you just get that little bit extra added depth in there. I think we're gonna need a fence post there, and maybe we did it over here with these kind of open door window things here. That spruce is gonna be the right color for this. The swap out, I think, was the move. Messed around with some of the colors and fences a little bit, and I decided to add kind of these spruce fence posts here just to kind of keep the interest just a little bit. And then we'll add a few of the signs in here. I think these will look nice as well to kind of help it blend it back into the build. Okay, yeah, I think that looks a lot better, at least from this angle now. That one we'll have to leave open, which I think is okay. Kind of breaks up it a little bit. these. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks okay. It's not what I want to do everywhere, but for that particular instance, I think it makes it look good. You know, we're kind of on the back side of the build, so I might put a little bit more of these in here. I want the calcite to kind of be up in this corner. Okay, I think that looks really nice. I do want to put maybe a couple walls in there. I think that adds enough visual interest to that spot right there, don't you? Okay, so I think that looks quite better. Borderlining on good. I think it needs a little bit more character, but we have to spruce up the outside a little bit. Not actual spruce, but make it look a little bit nicer. I think I'm just gonna want like a little pen for some sheep to exist in. So we'll end up putting some sheep in here. Now, I seem to have lost a little footage, and by lost, I mean I was recording the episode at quite late in the evening, and I must have just forgotten to hit the record button. But I did find a little bit of sheep in here, and you might have heard that door open. You might notice we've got a little guy walking around here, and that is because we have set up a little bit further than what I have on the recording, and you might notice there's a little entry over here. So we've gone ahead and set ourselves up a little automated sheep farm with an allay that is collecting the wool for us. So where did this guy come? That guy was supposed to be over there. What the? Okay, we can have 2 workers over here. It's not the end of the world. But you can see here how this is working is that just got sheared. The allay comes over. He picks up the wool. He drops the wool off over here. The wool then comes over to this chest underground. Our guy grabs it, and he will bring it on over to this location over here. And he opens the door and drops it off in our little chest. And you know, we got a little bit coming in, which is really nice for us. But it's gonna be slow. I want to put like a little tree in here, maybe a little stable, just so the sheep can get out of the sun. There's some of the ones that got away while I was building. I've also gone ahead and added a little bit of glow lichen and some of the torches just to make sure we are a little bit more spawn proof over here. I've managed to fill basically 4 shulker boxes. We've got a ton of stone and a little bit of dirt. We've got a little bit of extra stone. This is my wood chest of everything I've used, and this is kind of my clearance chest that I was doing while I was preparing this build. This is 4 inventories of kind of building blocks, and then I've got like my little lamp box here, but like I haven't even really touched the inside yet. Like it's crazy how many blocks this uses. But how this guy works, you know, nice and compact, just kind of a little hidden back here. I think it looks nice. It's actually really simple that like literally anybody could build this. It's just an observer that's looking up at the block that the sheep is standing on. It gives a 1-tick pulse down here, and then this observer picks that up, and then there are 2 more observers that go up and just activate the shears here. So let me get to decorating this interior. All right, so now you can see we haven't done like a ton, but you know, we kind of made it look a little bit more homely. You know, this is going to be our kind of main area that we're performing this work in. We've got all of our different little dyes up here. We've got some spare storage of some of the wool on top of all of that. And out the front, of course, we are selling a little bit of mutton. Is that what this is called? Mutton? I think it might be. So we're selling all sorts of little stuff in there. And, oh, hello, sir. We are also working on dropping some of this stuff off, which is phenomenal. Oh, he's got some as well. Good. And we're constantly grabbing some more. You can see we're just picking some up right there again. And he'll head back over here, drop it on off for it to get picked up in this chest here. Fantastic. So this build is looking quite nice, if I do say so myself. I think we've got kind of a nice little path here that is starting to form like a little commercial district. There is still a lot to do. We've only got 2 little building plots located throughout this entire town that we plan on building. And now we've got ourselves a large project to do out there in the distance. But I'm really looking forward to kind of slowly working on that as we progress. It was more functional this time. And I really wish Foxy was not getting that little graphical glitch in the middle there, because it kind of does ruin the look of it. But that's okay for now. Anyways, I think that's all the time we have today. These episodes are taking a fair amount of effort and time to get out, but I'm really enjoying the process of building things and kind of jumping around. I've got a lot of administrative stuff to do. We're gonna work on that. We've got work in progress things. We've got to work on the tunnel over here that we're working on. We've got all sorts of like projects that are like only a quarter or half completed, but you know what? That's part of the fun in Minecraft. You can run around, you can do things that you need to, and take care of them as you see fit. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. We will catch you next time on another episode of the Minecraft Experience with me, Jay. Thanks for watching. Bye.